Cyril Ramaphosa says the state will not pay the legal bills for suspended Sars Commissioner Tom Moyane. The president suspended Moyane pending a disciplinary commission of inquiry. Let's find out what's happening. Nickolaus Bauer standing by for us. Nickolaus, hello to you. Why won't the president pick up the tab for Tom Moyane?
Well, we are going to find out the political lay of the land in terms of how President Cyril Ramaphosa has been acting in his, what I suppose you could call, is turning into an altercation between the suspended Sars Commissioner Tom Moyane. We join you from the University of Johannesburg, where a light drizzle has just started to fall. So let's hope that the rain gods play with us as we speak to Mcebisi Ndletyana, the professor at the politics department here at, consequently, my alma mater, UJ. Professor, it seems as though this might well be the very first firm test of Cyril Ramaphosa's resolve, as Tom Moyane seems to be digging in his heels at the South African Revenue Service.
Well, it's quite surprising that he would act in that way, because we've been getting a lot of reports about how bad things are at SARS under his watch. For some reason, he doesn't seem to think that he's done anything wrong. Why exactly he has that view, one has no idea. So the president has to act, especially because there are so many things, bad things that we have heard about. There's a sense that things went terribly bad. So there's urgency and expectations out there that the president must act. Also because SARS hasn't quite collected the amount of money that they had promised to collect. South African economy is not doing well. Our revenue collection has gone down. So we need to get as much money as possible wherever we can get it. So SARS is quite critical in that aspect. So, you know, whatever is wrong there has to be corrected urgently. So Cyril then has to act. Also because that's what he promised coming in, that he's going to clean up. He has a new theme, Tumamina. You know, that whoever wants to serve the public diligently, he will call on those people to act. So he must lead by example and show that he will not tolerate any impropriety, that everyone who is suspected of having done something wrong must be dealt with urgently. And this is also happening, unfortunately for him, against the background of Northwest debacle, with Supra Mohammed seeming to be digging into his heels, not wanting to leave, right? And the president promised to act urgently. I mean, he left a meeting with the Queen. It's not every day that someone leaves a meeting with the Queen, rushing back home to address what was an urgent situation, only to say that they are still going to consult. It took him a while. Fortunately, last week he acted, taking over that administration there. But the delay sent a message that perhaps the president is not as firm as he wants to be seen, as he portrays to be.
Firmness being the operative word here, but I suppose another very important term is due process, because a lot of people, as you have painted the picture, are expecting the President Cyril Ramaphosa to act very swiftly. But there is a case of acting in the right way, following due processes, and wanting the desired outcome in such a way that it won't be challenged at a later stage.
Look, the president is a very careful man. He's very deliberate in his approach. That's well and good, because you do want to take good decisions at the end of the day, right? But you must also expect that whoever is subject of that decision will resist. People will resort to all sorts of shenanigans, not to be fired or go to prison, right? So at some level, you've got to strike a healthy balance between decisiveness and deliberate action. So far, perhaps the president has been doing well, but I think at some level he might be tilting towards indecisiveness, and that's not good for him. He's a new president. Any new president must send out a message to everyone out there that he's in charge. And the fact that Supra would delay in leaving, basically defying instructions from Lutuli House, is an indication that these folks think that there's still some room to wiggle, to defy the president. So the president has got to act very quick and act very hard, so that whoever might be thinking of resorting to similar tricks is deterred from doing that. So he's got to be firm. He's got to err on the side of firmness and decisiveness. Yes, be deliberate. It doesn't have to be stupid. Yes, that's well and good, right? But he must be decisive at the same time.
Last but not least, then, does Tom Moyane and the standoff between the suspended SARS commissioner and the president provide Cyril Ramaphosa the opportunity to do exactly that? Maybe act a bit more firm than he did with the Super Mahumapelo debacle in the Northwest. And lastly, maybe adding on that, should the president worry then about possibly being dragged before court and needing to testify as first citizen in the land?
I think they have chosen easy issues to deal with Moyane on. There were manner, for instance, in which he dealt with the Makakwa case. He didn't act when there was clear evidence apparently that Makwaka had done something wrong. The faulty report that was issued by KPMG about what was happening at SARS. So those are easy cases to act upon. There is a lot, but to dig up the rest might take long. So the two cases, I think, provide him with sufficient grounds to act. And it helps him to reset public imagination, to say, I'm in charge, I'm the chief, and also because there are expectations for him to act. And also in doing so, obviously, there might be consideration that the case must be strong, one that will not be reversed by courts. I think in this case, in choosing the two issues, they've done their homework so that this thing is dealt with decisively and the courts do not reverse it.
All right, we'll leave it at that. That is Professor Mcebisi Ndletyana here at the campus of the University of Johannesburg. The ongoing standoff between Cyril Ramaphosa as president and the suspended SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane. Is it going to land up in the courts? What is the next installment? We'll be watching that issue very intently here on eNCA. Gareth.
Yes, we will indeed. Nickolaus Bauer, thank you very much indeed. Follow him on Twitter at Nickolaus Bauer as well. At the moment he hears what's happening with this ongoing saga, you'll hear via him and also here on DSTV 403 and eNCA.com.